right, today, first up on the show, we put the spotlight on the healthcare industry and what the outlook is when it comes to investments within the space, the top sector bets, as well as how AI has played a big role. Kapil Khandelwal, KK Managing Partner at El Toro FinServe, now joins us on the show to discuss that. Thank you so much for taking time out. Given the fact that we're seeing Gen X and why really falling prey to a lot of conditions to which seniors would suffer, I just want to understand how you're looking at the overall healthcare landscape and why we're seeing this.
So this is part of our genetic makeup and our whole epidemiology, which is changing very quickly from the pandemic and coming out of pandemic. Let me give you an example. Last year in November, I went for a cataract operation, and I found along with me, there were many other youngsters in Gen XY who were also getting prepped up for an operation for cataract. Now, we don't know, and this is an issue that I've been talking with Johnson Johnson, Optics Business, Hoya, and many others as to why is this happening? Why is youngsters are getting cataracts so early in their life? So there needs to be a much more longitudinal research and study to be conducted to for us to come conclusively as to why or what are the reasons. Is it lifestyle patterns, or is it genetic makeup, or is it just something else altogether that is leading to such epidemiological change and very rapidly in the younger cohorts?
So, Kapil, we've seen technology as well really play a big role, from AI-generated food taste and flavors to food aversions by AI. Tech integration is playing a big part in wellness and health.
So let me just step back a few years back, maybe about 10 years back, when we were invested into a nutrigenomics venture. And a lot of patients used to come with issues that I have a certain food aversion or certain food condition or allergies or celiac and so on and so forth. And this generally were being tested by our molecular diagnostic lab, and we could conclusively come back to say, okay, certain type of food aversion is a condition that leads to certain type of food behavior or a certain type of food eating habit or food consumption habit, which may be good or bad for a person because he's not getting a full range of nutrients from the food that he is consuming. And hence, that led us to believe that a new age tech, which is now coming with all the data and the analysis around artificial intelligence and the biochemistry of food, along with the modeling of food, can lead to reducing these sort of food aversion in people so that they can actually consume natural food rather than going on supplements which are not anyway absorbed by your body completely, and that leads to so much of deficiency and conditions and syndromes and many other conditions in people.
Sure, and given that 40 is the new 60, everyone is really trying to reverse their age. Is this a big trend as well?
I just turned 56 and I'm running 57. And mind you, on my 50th birthday, I ran a 50-kilometer on my own just to prove that age is just a number. So if you are in the right way of managing your body and your time and your work and stress, I'm sure you can manage your age very well. And let me also tell you, pre-COVID, there was a molecular test that I did with one of our startups. My biological age was 48. 3 years after COVID, obviously, during lockdown, I couldn't send my samples. And I redid the test, and it still showed, although I had aged biologically 3 years, but it showed that I'm still 48 or 47, I don't remember now. But there was a constancy of that effort of whatever I did during COVID times, or by walking, by consuming proper food and sleep and whatever you, that has led to steadying my age. Although biologically I aged 3 years more during the lockdown, but I maintained the age as per the test on my metabolic rate, on my whatever parameters on which it has judged my age uh, in the test constantly. So it is possible that you can manage your age and you can beat age.
Yeah, sure. So I wasn't far off. And yeah, indeed, it is pretty interesting. And what about pilgrimage and wellness? Will that remain the flavor?
Yeah, so it is going to not only exist, but it's going to expand. I wrote something about, what happened to Mecca. I was in Saudi Arabia long, long back in the early 2000s, and how medical tourism had exploded around Jeddah, Riyadh, and many other cities in Saudi Arabia, given the lakhs and lakhs of and millions of pilgrims who are coming to Mecca and Medina for their religious tourism. Now we just had something in Ayodhya, and I've written about it. What can we really do about it? It's also just not about your health, but it's also about spirituality and helping you understand yourself much better and managing your mental and spiritual being in a much better way. Obviously, this goes a little bit beyond health and life sciences, but yes, there are empirical proofs and research being done. Data is all out there. You can correlate what happens with spirituality and health and mental well-being.
And what about devices like, for example, personalized 3D printed or AI controlled organs and supplements? Will that really be the future?
All the ideas that we have talked about is happening somewhere. Now, the point here is, how do you bring that all together with the diagnostics, with the body systems, with the biology, with all the personalization to make it happen?
Okay, good to have you on board. Thanks, Kapil, for joining in.